Good morning, children. Yesterday I explained you about our goals. What are our goals? Means aims to have the government. Understand? Our goals are democracy, socialism, and secularism. To have the people's government for the people and of the people by the people. And secularism means people should have the right to follow any religion. There should not be any discriminations in the name of religions, caste, etc. Socialism means people should be given equal rights in the society to live smoothly without any discrimination of caste, creed, financial position, etc. Okay, now we are going to know about the rights and duties. So, the Constitution of India has given certain rights to every citizen. These are called the fundamental rights. No one can ignore these rights. These rights are as under. The Constitution, the written document, a book which has mentioned some rights for all the citizens of India. As I told, no caste problem, no rich or poor, no black and white. Each and every citizen of India can enjoy these rights. So, the rights which are given to all the citizens of India without any discrimination, they are called fundamental rights. Fundamental rights means basic rights. They are basic rights. Basically, everybody should have these rights primarily. Understand? So, these rights are first right to equality. Right to equality means all the people in the country are equal in the eyes of law. All are equal. Right to freedom. Everybody can express his views freely. So every Indian has a right to express his opinion regarding anything, whether it is against or in favor, good or bad. Freely he can express his ideas through media, newspaper. But one thing shall I tell you, it should not be used in a wrong way. That care also we have to take. Right against exploitation. No one has the right to exploit others. Exploiting means troubling others, giving more work, crushing them with what to say, rigid rules without any this thing strictly for imposing them to follow it. This exploitation should not be there. For example, what is exploitation? I will tell you. Your mom has a maid servant at home for cleaning the vessels and wiping the house for whatever purpose. But though she is a servant for you, you should treat her first as a human being. Afterwards, she is a servant. Everybody will enjoy their positions according to their financial status. Understand? We have appointed her as a servant means we need not exploit her. Exploiting. For example, she comes at one fixed time. Sometimes because of her ill health and all, she may come late or early. Or she may not come 1 or 2 days. Doesn't matter. And when she comes, we should give her, if she is sick, we give her minimum work. Or we ask her to take rest. Or offer some food, tea like that to her. That is called humanity. Okay, we should show humanity towards even servants also. Why not? They are also human beings. Understand? So, otherwise, we shout at them, punish them, cut their salary, and give more and more work because she was absent for 2-3 days. This is called exploitation. We should not exploit anybody. Understand? Right to freedom of religion. Everybody can preach and follow religion of his own choice. So though you belong to Hindu, Christianity or Islam, you have full right to follow any religion of your choice. You can talk about it freely. You can preach about it. Understand? There is no any restriction on it. Cultural and educational rights. Everyone has the right to preserve their culture and can establish educational institutions. Cultural and educational rights. Everybody is free to get education, obtain education, irrespective of their positions, family background, or anything. And even if they want, they can open educational institution also. But at the same time, our culture is rich culture. We have to preserve our culture. What is culture? Our way of life, celebrations, way of dressing, way of talking, way of receiving the guests. These all come under culture. So we have to safeguard our cultures, and everybody is free to seek education. And at the same time, if in future you want, you can open an educational institute like school, colleges also. Right to constitutional remedies. Our fundamental rights cannot be restricted or taken away. Right to constitution remedies. Remedies means solutions. If any problem occurs with any type of rights, that should be studied by the experts and they should not be taken away under any case. So rights cannot be restricted or taken away. While enjoying our rights, we should not interfere in the rights of others. In order to protect our rights, we can move the high we can move the High Court or Supreme Court. But during emergency, the fundamental rights can be suspended. The rights and duties are closely related to each other. So while we are enjoying our own rights, we should not interfere into others' rights. They are equally responsible and having right to enjoy their own rights. If any such exploitation, interference takes place, we can go to the court to seek justice. We can go to High Court or even to Supreme Court. But during the time of emergency, emergency means any political issues occur in the country, any hesitations, strikes are going on, any thing which is not in favor of country's welfare, that time emergency will be declared, presidential rule will be declared for that particular area. At that time our fundamental rights will be suspended. Suspended means they will be stopped for a few days till that emergency rule is lifted up. So as we have rights, at the same time we have to perform our duties also. For example, you are take the example of your own family. You have a right to ask your father for any gift, fruits, whatever your favorite dish. You can ask your mother to prepare, and you can even cry if she doesn't give. It is your right. At the same time, you have your duty also. What is your duty? Respecting your parents, your elders, and cooperating with them if any wrong things are taking place in the family without objecting them. Understand their situation and cooperate them, and study well. When they are working hard to get everything for you, please make use of it and study well. This is all your duty towards your family. Look after your mom or dad or sister or brother when they are sick. Look after your grandparents and look after their needs when your parents are away from home for any reason. These are all your duties. Same way, for the country also we have our duties. When the country has given us so many rights, right to education, right against exploitation, right to equality, right to freedom of speech, right to religion, what not, these are all basic rights. Understand? When they have given us the rights, at the same time, we all citizens have our own duties also. So rights and duties go hand in hand. Without duties, there is no meaning for our rights. So, what are the duties we have? As we are given rights, the Constitution also provides a list of fundamental duties for every citizen of India. Some of them are. So, as the Constitution of India has given us the rights, same way it has provided some duties for all the citizens. Fundamental duties, basic duties. What are they? Follow the ideals given in the Constitution. What ideals are given? Footprints are given. Understand that we have to follow the rules. Respect the national flag and national anthem. We have to respect the national flag and national anthem. Wherever, whether you are at home, on the street, or anywhere, when the national anthem is being sung, we have to stand in attention position. When the national flag is furled, we have to salute it. And there are some rules how to use them. We are going to learn in our next lesson our national symbols about it. Work for the unity of our country. We should not create any problems, communal disturbances, or any strikes like that. Instead, we can work for the unity of the country. Cooperate with the government in times of difficulty. As we cooperate with the family members when family is facing any problems, same way we have to cooperate with the government when it is facing any difficulties. Protect and improve our natural environment. We should protect our natural environment. We should improve our natural environment. What is natural environment? See, last year due to Corona, lockdown was there. So cool weather we had. Clear water in the rivers and all. Means our country was out of pollution. So, to keep our environment free from pollution, we should minimize the use of vehicles, minimize the use of petrol and diesel, plant more trees, and keep our streets and house clean, put the garbage in the dustbin. All these minimum things we have to do to improve our environment. Protect the monuments and public property. See, school is public property. It is not built by your father or my father. It is for each and everybody who comes to seek education. So it is a public property. When you come to school, when you are sitting on the bench, you are using the school infrastructure, means benches or anything in the school. Use them properly. Don't spoil them. This is a public property. Roads, street lights, public places, gardens, parks, temples. We have to protect these public properties, and monuments means historical buildings. We have to protect them. To develop scientific temper means we should work for the development of a scientific development of our country. Directive principles. Last topic is directive principles. So, the Constitution of India provides some guidelines even for the government. The aim is to develop a welfare and peaceful state. These are the directive principles of the state policy. What are directive principles? Directive principles are some guidelines given to the government to create a welfare society and peaceful state. These are called directive principles. Some of them are to promote the welfare of the people by promoting the social order. Promote means progress. Encourage welfare of the people by encouraging social order in the society. There should be enough means of livelihood for every citizen. Create more and more livelihood means sources to earn money. The government should create more and more employment facilities for the people, fair distribution of wealth of the country should be distributed among the people fairly, enough opportunities for education of children. It should create opportunities for the education of the children. Say for poor people, economically they are backward people, they should provide with scholarships and all, so that they can use it for their higher studies. Give them uniform, free books, free food, etc. Equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Nowadays, men and women are equally working in the society. So, both should be treated equally and should be paid equally. Improvement of public health. So, public health must be improved. For example, now we are affected by corona very badly. Now, vaccination program is going on. This is for improving our health. So, in this way, many steps for improving the public health is taken. Polio drops, vaccinations, etc. Adequate power to village panchayats. Village panchayats should be given more powers to improve their conditions of their villages. Protection of monuments, places and objects of historic and artistic interest and national importance. So, the government should take interest in protecting the public property, historical monuments, artistic things, etc. So, this is not a new thing for India. Directive principles was followed by many kings of our country to create welfare state. Understand? King Ashoka had followed. He opened many hospitals. He planted trees. He built choultries for people, to travelers to take rest, etc. So, right from ancient time, these directive principles are under practice in our country. These directive principles are only guidelines for state. However, the directive principles of state policy are essentially social and economic principles, but are beyond the jurisdiction of the court. But in a democratic system, it is the duty of the government to follow these principles while making policies for the country. So, these directive principles are purely the essential things given to the government, but they are not under any jurisdiction or any legal law. They can be used by the government when they are creating any welfare programs for our people. While making policies, rules and regulations for the people, they should keep in view these directive principles. Our constitution has been drafted by highly learned persons from all walks of life. It has looked into every aspect of our life. We must respect and follow. So our constitution is not simply done. It was done after the great efforts of so many learned scholars, people. Understand, they studied, worked from all walks of life, all fields of the society. They have come together and formed this constitution. So it is a great work of our great people. So we have to respect our constitution. We should follow our government rules. We should enjoy the rights. At the same time, we have to do our duties, basic duties, with great care. This is what is our lesson, our goals, rights and duties. Thank you, children.